You have sent 50 different applications on LinkedIn and heard back nothing but silence? You are not alone. I remember when I was a student, I was very frustrated with the fact that I applied to the position, I thought I'm suitable 100%, and then I never got even to the interview phase. But then, I understood how the game works. And in 2 different years, I was able to get 5 different offers, 2 of which I accepted, one in 1 year, and second in another year. And the second one led to my permanent employment, where I'm still working as of today. So I'm here to tell you everything I know about traineeship in Finland, and I hope this might help you. And although I'm working in a Finnish IT company, all the recommendations I'm giving here in this video are my personal recommendations related to my personal experiences, not related to our company at all, anyhow. First of all, in Finland, the trainee positions have seasonality. What it means. Usually companies want to get trainees for summer because in Finland, most of the employees are taking vacation in summer, so you don't have many workers in place. So it's very nice to get trainees to help you. And at the same time, you help trainees to get a working experience. So application period for the summer usually starts in December with a peak in January, February. So if you're watching this in January or February, you should apply now, because later there will be not so many positions open. There are also trainee programs, which are a bit different. Usually they are longer than 3 months of summer, and they might start in different times, but the majority of the positions will be open now, January, February, and the work will start around May, and it will be 3 to 4 months to cover for the summer. What kind of internships or traineeships they are? Many Finnish larger companies like Finnair or OP or previously YIT as well, they have a programs. It's not just a summer job, it's a program. It can be half a year, 1 year. For example, I was participating in YIT, which is biggest construction company in Finland. They had a program called Digital Talent Trainee, and it was 1 year. I will leave in the comments a list of companies who are hiring for trainees, so you can just check it there and apply for suitable ones. Then there are shorter trainee periods for the summer. Usually it's 3 to 4 months, and those are more common, but the minus of that is that you are just 3 months there, and usually you are just working on your own tasks and you don't have like a support group of other trainees around you. For example, in YIT we were like many doing different work where we were on different positions, but we had some events together. So in that sense, the programs are nicer. First of all, they are longer, and second of all, you have this support group there. Where you can find the trainee positions. So first of all, you can just Google them, like Trainee Finland. You can check on LinkedIn. You can check on different pages which collect all the trainee positions. You can also connect to your guild in university and speak with them, because often guild has connections to the companies, and then they might know about some positions, or they might know that some companies will possibly open some positions, so you can also do that. And of course, the career fairs. For example, I participated from the employer side in the IT Hekoma in Tampere, and we were there speaking with different students. So you can meet and ask your questions like this from the companies. Sometimes companies who go there, they know about what positions they will open. Sometimes companies go there and they don't know about what positions they were open. So the meeting of the companies doesn't necessarily give you any additional points, rather than meeting the company, being able to ask the questions. But still, sometimes it might maybe lead to something, but it purely depends on how the company is organized and who is on the place, and do they know what positions they need for. How the process of getting a trainee position works. So first of all, there is a position. You apply for it with your CV, portfolio, cover letter, and everything. You prepared it. And then after that, some companies use the virtual interviews, which means it's a platform, and they pre-recorded questions for you, and you need to answer. Usually it's not many, like 3 or 4, and they usually send it to more candidates than they will really interview face-to-face. So you should be prepared for that, filming yourself on a camera, for example. Then there will be interviews, and some companies, on top of that, either before the interview or after the interview, they give you a test task. The purpose of a test task is just to make sure that you can do the tasks they will give you in the summer or in the training period. So you will need to do something like this. And after that, there is usually offer, and then you can accept or reject the offer. In Finland, usually trainees get paid from 2,500 to 3,000 euros. At least last time I checked, it was something like this. There are also unpaid traineeships, I know, but they are more rare if we are speaking about tech industry. Most of the trainee positions are paid, and usually it's stated in the job ad. Who can apply for trainee positions? Usually, the trainee positions are made for students. The companies are targeting, or they want to take students from like last years of bachelor, let's say like third year of the bachelor studies, and masters, of course. Sometimes you can get the position even if you're in your first or second year of bachelor's. It depends on how well you can showcase your skills and how much do you know or you can do. For many positions, you need to be a current student. So if you're already graduated, you will not be able to apply or you will be rejected. And I know that many companies, they don't take to trainee positions anyone who has years of experience in the field. The only exception is if you are switching the fields. For example, if you have been working in, let's say, customer support for like a couple of years after your graduation, and then you want to enter, let's say, design field, and you can justify why trainee position is like good for you or why you were good for your company, that might be the only exception. But if you have been working, let's say, in design field for a couple of years and then you are applying to the trainee position, you most likely will be rejected even though you have a great portfolio and work experience, because many companies are very strict that trainee positions are for trainees, meaning people with no experience or very little experience, 1 to 2 years maximum. If you are in Finland on a student visa, you need to make sure that your visa allows you to work how much the company wants you to work. Because if it's a 1-year employment, let's say it's a graduate program and it's a 1-year employment and a full-time, you need to make sure that either you need to switch the type of visa or can you still be on a student visa. So be sure you take care of this. But how to get the position? So before we even start applying, you need to think what employer want from you. For example, if you are applying to the position, let's say design, as I was doing, UX design, product design, you need to think how you can showcase to the employer that you already know how to do the job. In design case, it's a portfolio where you could show this, like your projects and where you can get the projects. Usually the best case scenario is you do those projects in your university. In some of the courses we had, for example, projects where we were building a portfolio. But if you don't have that, you can also build portfolio by yourself. Redesign some popular website. Let's say you can take website of your university and you can redesign it and you can explain why. Or if you're applying for developer positions, you need to showcase that you already know how to solve some certain problems. You can share your GitHub. I think it's actually a requirement, but I'm not sure. And if you're applying to any other positions, you need to think how you can showcase that you know what to do, that you know the job, you know how to make what they will ask you to make. After you build your portfolio, or anything that can showcase what you know and what kind of work you can do, you can start building your CV. And I know that for students it's very frustrating. They don't understand how they can build a CV if they don't have a work experience. So basically, the employer is expecting you to have experience, although they're hiring for a trainee position. But the portfolio or something that you can showcase will help with this problem. Employers are not expecting you to have working experience, but they're expecting you to showcase somehow that you know what to do. And in your CV, you should mention all of your university projects. If you were doing something, you need to mention all of your, let's say, skills or any small internships you did in university. For example, I have been an exam invigilator. It's a person who is checking that no one is cheating on exams. Or I have been also teaching assistant for one of the courses in the university. So if you can find positions like this, they will later on help you to get the traineeships outside of university. Also, any positions like working in the shop, I mean in any like a market or anywhere, you can also take from there like transferable skills. For example, the customer support skill or any other skills like this you can add there. So you don't necessarily need to show the experience from the field, but you can show how the experience of your life, of your university projects, of anything else will help you to do the job. Another important thing from which you could get experience to apply for your trainee position is hackathons or any kind of events like this where you can build a project and then get, I don't know, first, second, third place. I feel like this helped me a lot to get the position to which I was chosen because I have participated in couple of hackathons, and in both of them we got either the first or the second place. And I was also able to add those projects from the hackathons to my portfolio. So I was showing that as a designer I built this in less than 48 hours and we got, let's say, a second place or a third place. So here you already have a project and you can showcase that you can work. Then the CV itself, usually it's 1 to 2 pages, not longer than that. And I know that there are discussions about the picture in the CV, should you include or you should not. From what I have seen, it doesn't really matter if you have a picture or not. Like, it might make you a little bit more memorable if there is a picture, because then when you remember the person, you remember the, visual stuff, who it is and how it looks like. But it doesn't really affect that much to who will be chosen to the interview rounds. So however you feel is better. About the skills, be very specific about your technical skills, but also don't forget to add soft skills. I think it's very important that you list there somehow. And a very big role in applying to a trainee position plays a motivation. Like, everyone is motivated to get the position, right? Like, everyone wants the position. Let's say the company X and you want X. Now sounds like a Twitter. Okay, the company named A and you want to get there, and everyone wants to get there, so everyone is motivated, right? But your motivation should be specific and believable. Like, it should be authentic, because if you are just writing in your cover letter, yeah, I really want to work with you guys, and that's it, everyone will read like this. You should find something inside you or in your previous experience which connects you to the company or their values, or which connects you to this job you will be doing, and then speak about it. And that might give you additional points. Basically, you need to explain to the company why you want to work with them, and then you need to explain why you are the most suitable here. And then you can also speak about how you work or what kind of achievements or awards you had, like hackathon win or very good GPA or something like this. But please, when you're writing the cover letter, try not to use AI fully to create a cover letter for you. Try to think first yourself about what could connect you to this company, what could connect you to this job. Is there something that you could find around which you could build your motivation? Like, it's very easy to Google a company and see their values and then say, yeah, I also love sustainability. Sustainability is everything for me. You should have examples. You should be able to show that you're really interested and not just speaking with a very general phrases. If you want to be special or to separate yourself from other candidates, you can try doing video CV. It's something that I heard recommendation from others. I didn't do video CV back then when I was applying, but you can try to do this. I know that it's just something memorable. If no one is doing it, then the company or the hiring manager could remember you from that, for example. One more thing about the application. If there is a phone number in the application, you should call to them. And not just call, you should come up with questions you have in your head about the position, but it should be questions which will somehow showcase that you know what you're speaking about, you know about the position. It's a questions which are not answered in the job ad. And when you call, you speak, and you try to be nice, showcase your interest, and then in the end of the call, you say, okay, great, this sounds cool, and I will apply today, or I will apply tomorrow. And then you apply that day when you say. Because there is a little chance that the person will remember you and they will check with your application because you say that you will apply today and you did really apply. So you can prepare everything, the CVs, application, your portfolio, everything should be ready, and then you can call, you can speak, and then you can apply right away after that. What about referrals? In my experience and with everyone I spoke, the referrals, it's a 50-50 game. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. It might assure you that the company will look at your application, but the referral does not assure you that they will take you to interview or they will take you to work with them. So if you have a referral and the company accepts referrals, you can do it, but don't set your hopes high to the referral programs. One thing about the video interviews where you need to record the video, don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be too serious, because one of my friends had an experience when he was recording himself, he felt very, not many people have experience recording themselves on camera. So when you do something like this, many people get very serious and they're very shy. And he was smiling and he was feeling great. And then when he got interview, he asked why he was chosen. And the person who was interviewing him said that he was one of the very little people who were smiling or who were happy or showing their personality, that everyone was too serious in the videos. So don't be afraid to show your personality a little bit, at least. So you got an invitation to the interview. What to do now? First of all, in Finland, no one is late. I mean, being late is very rude. So don't be late. Better to be 1 or 2 minutes before, especially if it's a interview face-to-face. Be prepared to come early. Then on the interview, when you answer the questions of the interviewer, please use examples. If someone is asking you a question, don't just answer the question. Let's say someone asking you what are your best qualities. And if you answer just, 3 words, my best qualities are, I don't know, I am very fast working, I am very fast learner, and I have a lot of experience in something. This doesn't tell the interviewer anything. It's just 3 words and anyone could say it. But if you say that I'm a fast learner because I switched in university from one program to another and I had to very quickly learn a lot of new stuff. Let's say you switched from engineering to business and then you had to learn a lot about new in a very quick way, and your GPA is still good. Let's say you say that you have a very good visual eye, and as an example you could use that you like photography, and this trained your visual eye very well, and you can use something else as an example. So any answer you give to the interviewer should have some kind of explanation or some kind of examples there, because it should have a context. It should explain more. Another thing about the interviews is two-way street. So the company is interviewing you to see if you are a fit, but you are also seeing if the company or hiring manager or a team is a fit. So you should ask questions to understand if the company suits you. I understand that when you are a student and you really, really, really want to get a first job, you might not care much where do you work, but it's very important to show your interest in the company and ask questions. So before the interview, please come up with the questions. So basically, preparing for the interview, you can, of course, I don't know, ask ChatGPT to tell you what kind of questions the hiring manager could ask. But when preparing the answers, you should prepare examples from your, university life, work life, just life for every single question. And you need to prepare your questions for the company. And then you should be very well set for the interview. If a hiring manager asks you something and you don't know, let's say they're asking you, do you know this software or how you ever use this software, and you haven't, you can say that you haven't used it yet, but you are a fast learner, and then give an example. For example, have you used this software? And then I say, no, I haven't used it, but I am a very fast learner. I learned myself how to use, Figma. And in a very short time, I became a very experienced in that, and now I can build all the prototypes, let's say. So for any question, there should be example. Because if someone asks you, have you used this program, and you say no, in their mind, it will be like, okay, no. But if you explain to them that you are willing and you can, and you have an example from the past that you did something like this, it will be seen as more positive rather than negative. I also know that some people say that you should find a hiring manager on LinkedIn and then text to them. I have never done that. And I don't know why, but I feel like adding someone like a hiring manager on LinkedIn and telling them, hi, I applied to your position, it's a bit not nice. So, but you can do this. People recommend to do this. I don't know if it will be positive or negative. And I think if I will be a hiring manager, and I will be looking for trainees, and then I will get 10 people connecting to my LinkedIn, writing that, hi, I saw this position, I want to apply, can we chat? Probably I will just ignore it, because it feels unfair that I will speak with some of the candidates before we chose people who are going to the next round or to the interviews. Maybe other hiring managers will be happy to get people like this. So I think it's up to you to decide if you want to try it or not. Might work. I don't know. The Finnish language. It usually sparks debates about if you're, for example, in tech field, why some companies are requiring Finnish, although it feels like it's not needed for a job. But for the job-facing customers or for the job-facing users, so let's say a UX designer or a customer support, if the company's customers are Finnish companies or Finnish public sector, usually the customers want to speak Finnish. So then those companies are hiring only in Finnish. I know that many companies in Finland, the big tech companies or in general companies, are hiring in English and they don't require Finnish language. But if you can at least show the interest, or that you invested some time in Finnish language, or you took courses in university, or that you are in general interested in the language, it would be a nice addition, in my opinion, at least. Finland is now number 1 in the unemployment rate in Europe. We overcame Spain. And I understand how hard it is for the students to get the first jobs in this situation, but there are still positions and you still should apply and try. Don't let the statistics affect you. You just need to prepare a little bit better and a little bit more show your motivation, a little bit more connect your previous experiences to the job. Make a little bit better portfolio and you will have a lot of chances to get the positions you want. Hope you will get your position soon.